Think about the last project that suddenly became red. Was it really unexpected? Probably not. Someone knew there was a risk. Someone noticed a dependency, or an issue had been open for weeks. The problem wasn't the project. It was visibility. In this module, we'll learn how RAID helps us spot problems early and keep projects under control. By the end of this module, you should be able to open any project and ask 4 simple questions. What could go wrong? What has already gone wrong? What actions are still outstanding? What are we waiting for? If you can answer those questions confidently, you're already practicing effective RAID management. Imagine your project manager asks, "Are we on track?" Saying everything looks fine isn't enough. Instead, open the RAID log and answer with facts. We have 3 high risks, 1 critical issue, 5 pending actions, and 1 vendor dependency. RAID turns assumptions into visibility, helping management make better decisions. Managing RAID isn't a one-time activity. Every week, repeat the same routine. Identify new items, assess their impact, assign an owner, agree on mitigation actions, track progress, escalate blockers, and close completed items. Think of it as a weekly health check for your project, rather than an emergency response. Here's a real situation. A third-party vendor promised to deliver an API on Friday. Nobody recorded it as a dependency. Monday arrived, development stopped, testing was delayed, and the release slipped by 2 weeks. The lesson isn't that the vendor was late. The lesson is that the dependency wasn't managed early enough. One question can help you decide whether something is a risk or an issue. Has it already happened? If the answer is no, it's a risk, and you should prepare a mitigation plan. If the answer is yes, it's an issue, and you need a resolution plan. Asking this question first prevents many reporting mistakes. During every weekly project meeting, don't ask only, "Any new risks?" Ask more practical questions. Which task worries you most? Which dependency might delay us? Which assumption could fail? Then score each risk by probability and impact, assign an owner, and define what action will reduce that risk. Recording a risk isn't enough. Every risk should answer 3 questions. Who owns it? What's the mitigation plan? When should we escalate it? If any answer is missing, the risk isn't being managed. One of the biggest PMO mistakes is maintaining a beautiful RAID log that nobody actually uses. When a risk becomes reality, speed matters. Log the issue immediately, assign an owner, define the resolution plan, and follow up every day until it's closed. Remember, PMO doesn't solve technical problems. PMO makes sure problems remain visible and continue moving toward resolution. Don't only look at severity. Also look at tagging. A medium priority issue that's been open for 20 days deserves attention because it's blocking progress. During your weekly RAID review, sort issues by both severity and aging. This simple habit helps you escalate the right problems before they become project crises. Every meeting ends with action items, but how many are actually completed? A good PMO never writes follow-up later. Instead, every action has an owner, a deadline, and a clear status. Then check dependencies. Ask yourself, is another team, vendor, or business unit blocking this action? That's often where delays begin. Let's look at a simple RAID log. Don't focus on the spreadsheet itself. Focus on the conversations it creates. Can you immediately see who owns each action? Which deadlines are approaching? Which items need escalation? If someone new joins the project today, they should understand the project health within 5 minutes. Projects change. That's normal. The problem isn't change. It's uncontrolled change. Whenever someone requests a new feature, a deadline extension, or additional resources, don't answer immediately. First ask, what impact will this have on scope, timeline, budget, and quality? Good PMOs protect project stability before approving change. Think of every change request as a decision process. First, capture their request. Next, analyze its impact. Then let the right authority approve it before updating the project baseline. Never implement changes first and complete paperwork later. That's how projects lose control of scope, budget, and stakeholder expectations. Escalation isn't about blaming people. It's about removing blockers quickly. As a PMO, ask yourself one question. Can the project team solve this themselves? If yes, let them. If not, escalate early with facts, impacts, and recommended actions. Good escalation helps leaders make decisions, not discover surprises. Many new PMOs ask, when should I escalate? The answer is simple. Agree on clear triggers before problems happen. For example, if a milestone slips by more than 3 days, or a critical dependency is blocked for 48 hours, escalate automatically. Clear rules remove emotion and make governance consistent. A dashboard should answer one question. Where should management focus today? Show top risks, Critical issues, overdue actions, and key dependencies. Avoid dashboards that only report green status while hiding problems underneath. A simple dashboard with honest information is far more valuable than a beautiful one with incomplete data. RAID isn't measured by how many risks you record. It's measured by how well you manage them. Track metrics like overdue actions, mitigation effectiveness, SLA compliance, and escalation response time. These KPIs tell you whether governance is actually improving project delivery, not just producing reports. Let's practice. Imagine you receive a project status email with several updates. One item says the vendor may miss next week's delivery. Another says testing has already stopped because the API isn't ready. Before looking at the answer, classify each item as a risk, issue, action, or dependency. This is exactly how you'll work on real projects. Before we finish, remember this. Great PMOs don't eliminate every problem. They make sure problems are identified early, discussed openly, assigned to the right owner, and resolved before they threaten delivery. That's the real purpose of RAID governance. Thank you, and let's continue the discussion with your own project experiences.